Welcome, everybody. We are doing a playthrough today of Groo, the card game. It's a game that originally came out around 18-20 years ago, and we have gotten the license for it and are bringing it back now. We've made a couple of design tweaks to it, but by and large, it's the game you remember, and if you don't remember it, we'll show you how it's played. Today, we've got myself, Jimmy, which you've seen on many of our videos and stuff. We have, of course, Steve Jackson here with us. We have Meredith, our new CEO.
Yay!
And we have Danielle, who's with Lionheart Hobby.
In Kyle, Texas.
In Kyle, Texas.
In Kyle, Texas.
In case you are localish to us. And we're going to go ahead and show you guys some Groo. In this game, we are playing various towns in the world of Groo. And if you're not familiar, Groo is who you see on the cover here. He is a adventurer, barbarian, and walking disaster.
Yes. He's a character in who he is the protagonist of the Groo comic book by Sergio Aragonés. And Groo means well. Groo would never harm anyone in his life until the battle frenzy is on him and then he kills everybody. But Groo just wants to help.
He does.
He's just not good at it.
Too bad he's so stupid.
So we are each going to be playing one of the villages in these towns, trying to build our villages up to be worth 7 victory points, and hopefully keep Groo away from our towns and in other people's towns. So it's a little bit of a take that back and forth game. In the game, we're going to have several different types of cards that we're going to be building our villages with. First one is a building card. They're the yellow ones. They have a victory point cost on them, resources that it takes to build them, and any additional abilities they have down here at the bottom. We'll also be building troop cards, which are various armies for our villages. They have very similar things. They've got the cost to build them. They've got the attack and defense scores, and any additional abilities on them would be down here. And we'll use those to directly attack each other and defend ourselves with.
An interesting thing to point out is that you can't build up a big army in this game. Your troop cards will be expended every time there's a battle, and you'll have to start over. So there won't be any, yes, here's the 5th and 6th pikes, supporting everything. No.
Yeah, it's a use them and lose them scenario with the armies.
You take what you can get, and you're grateful for it.
The other type of card that will come up that we're spending resources on are the Groo effect cards, which are the red ones that are something happens where Groo currently is at. Hopefully, that's not your place, because they're never good for wherever he is. Sometimes they'll move him. Most often, he causes some mayhem where he's located. The other two are sort of global cards. There are event cards that are purple, and as soon as they come up, whatever is on them happens. And then the last one is a wild card, and they have various random effects that can be played at any time or when they say on them. They've got this rainbow border. Those are the 5 types of things you'll see. The way the round is going to work is we're all going to draw 5 cards.
We'll these in a minute.
Yep. And we'll deal these out.
One unusual thing about this game that you'll see is in each turn we have 2 draw phases. This is so you don't go naked of cards into the round of the other people playing, because there are cards that you will want to have and be able to play during other people's turns. It's very interactive.
Because I dealt, Groo starts off in front of my village. Not good for me.
But you have no village.
But I have no village yet,
not
so
bad for
not
you.
terribly bad yet. So, game comes with a handy little turn phase card that will be popping up here. And the first thing I do is, if I've got any cards I don't like, I could discard them. I don't have any currently that fall into that category. Then I would draw back up to 5 cards. Then, if I had an army, I could choose any of the units I have and attack with it. And whoever I attack could choose any of their units they wanted to defend with and defend with it. All right, so now that we've taken care of all the cards and discards, the next thing is going to be the construction phase, which is where the turn really starts. Where I take all the dice.
All the big chunky
chunky
dice.
dice. Nice. And give them a roll. The first thing we look at is the Groo movement die. The Groo movement die says 1 arrow left, which means Groo moves 1 village to the left around the table in front of Steve. The rest of these have symbols on them. I'm going to take this one, which is a Groo head right now, and show you the symbols. So we have the Groo head. We also have supplies, which is this little sack of grain. Labor, which is the little guy. And copins, which is the little coin. Those are the 4 symbols that can come up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand and see what I can pay for. So the symbols on the left side of the card tell you what you need to pay to put that card into play. So for me, currently, I can take one of these supplies and put out a lumber yard, which gives me worth 1 victory point.
Does that have any special abilities?
It adds 1 victory point if the marketplace is in my town.
Okay.
I'm also going to use another supply to build a broken drawbridge, which is another building worth 2 victory points, but I remove 1 supply result when I roll the dice. And then I'm going to use one of these labors to recruit a troop. It's a footman who's a 1 attack, 1 defense troop card. So I spent half of these. I still have these dice left, and I don't have anything I can do with them, so we go to the next phase, which is called the leftover phase, which means I pass these to the person on my left, and they can spend them to put things in play into their village.
And that's maybe the single coolest mechanic in this game, is that every turn you've got at least a chance to build something. Even, it's not my turn, but darn it, I can do it. Okay, now, I have a funny hand here. And since it really doesn't hurt me to show the hand, I'm going to show it. I have 4 buildings in my hand, and they all require copins, which is the gold coin in this game. So I can't do a thing with any of these. I could have discarded some of these, but when my turn comes, I might roll some copins. In the meantime, with the 5th card I didn't show you, I will now show it to you. It's a Groo effect card. It's called the Wanderer, and it takes 1 Groo head to power it, which I have. So, move Groo to any other town. So we're going to send Groo over to you.
Yay!
If I had been feeling tacky, I would have sent him to Jimmy, because Jimmy has things to lose. But we're going to start off with friendly play, at least for a moment. Well, that spins the Groo head, and that's all I can do. So if you have anything with a labor or a grain or both.
But then I also run into the problem that if I lay anything down, I have Groo in my town.
But he doesn't immediately do anything necessarily. There are a couple buildings that will be automatically destroyed if Groo is there. But usually it takes cards that are powered by these Groo heads for Groo to do something, usually.
Okay.
So it's not an immediate destruction. You want him gone as soon as you get him gone.
Well, then I'm going to use the nice townsperson here and lay down a residence.
Okay.
And pass over to Danielle.
Okay, so I have a question because I have a couple wild cards. You told me what they were, but I don't know
So the
what
wild
they
cards
do.
can be played whenever they say they can be played, or at any time. And they'll just do what they say on them. And it doesn't even have to be your turn most of the time.
So is it a benefit for me to use one now? I can do this. So I can either do. I'm going to move this now.
You just lay that down.
I'm going to. Okay, we'll lay it down. So I could either. Will you tell me what would be better? I could either do the guard tower.
Right.
Or I could do the bowman.
I would say the guard tower is worth points.
Yes.
And until you have buildings out in play, there's not a real reason to have troops because you don't have anything to defend.
Got it.
if you
Okay,
have no
yeah,
buildings.
it's true. Okay, so I'll use this. And then so if the Groo effect comes, am I gonna lose anything right now?
Well, if a Groo effect happens, it usually happens where Groo is located.
Got it.
So if someone moves Groo to you and then spends a Groo effect card, then yes, something might happen to your town.
I see. Okay, well I spent that one.
All right.
So,
So now that the leftovers have gone all the way around the table,
She has wild cards she's thinking about playing.
oh, that's right.
well, I don't know that I'm going to yet.
Okay.
So Yeah, I think I'll wait.
Maybe you could get advice from Hunter.
Is Hunter giving advice?
We can
I'll take
always
advice.
give you advice.
I like any game that I can win. So,
Okay.
you know.
She's very competitive.
I
Do
am.
not
I'm
play
super
games with her.
competitive.
It is the worst.
Sure, yeah, I can do. I'll give neutral advice. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, would you use this? I'll secretly give you this card and not tell anybody. I feel like I should wait.
No, yeah, definitely.
Wait, yeah, I'll definitely. I'm gonna
That's a
be
good one,
waiting. I'll be waiting.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I'll be waiting.
So now that the dice have made their way all the way around the table, even if there were any left, I would not get to use them, but they've come back to me. So that is the end of the leftovers phase. There was one final draw phase for my turn where I draw my hand back up to 5 cards. All right, so now I've got my hand back up to 5. I've gotten a little bit of a village started. I've got a few points of buildings, 1 point in the lumberyard and 2 points for the broken drawbridge. And that is part way to victory. So what we're trying to do here is build our towns up to be worth 7 points. And if at the end of a turn, including all the way through the final end of the draw phase, if at the final end of a turn right now, if anybody has a 7 points worth of victory points, or a town worth 7 victory points, then the game ends and that person wins. I don't, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next turn, which means it is over to Steve.
But you have 3 points.
I do have 3 points currently.
Yes, so
That's a lot.
you're in the crosshairs.
I'm still not going to discard any cards. So it's the draw phase. Draw up to 5.
You're
So
down 1 because you spent some on your last turn, because you had to build during
Right.
the leftovers phase.
And wonder of wonders, it is not a building that uses copins only.
Okay.
So now I have it. The next phase is the optional attack phase. I have no troops, so we go straight to the construction phase. That means I need a handful of chunky dice.
2 handfuls of chunky dice.
Well, I like the big
I
dice,
love the
and
dice.
they don't roll very far, and that's a win. They roll enough to rattle. Look at that, no copins at all.
Wow.
Groo goes to the left,
Wow.
and with no copins,
Wow.
I'm passing you a whole
Some
lot of
dice.
stuff.
Okay.
Whole roll.
Now, since I used a card before, do I draw up to 5 or
You
not yet?
don't draw
Not
until
on
your
this.
turn.
Perfect. Okay.
So that's why we have a beginning and an
Yeah.
end draw phase, so that you're refreshed at the start of your turn,
Exactly.
and then you're at the end of your turn you're filled back up so you can make it around the table again.
Okay, well, we're going to spend 1 and add a baker.
Okay.
And then...
Now, that's a card with a funny special ability. If you have the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker, it's good extra points. But just try and accumulate all those when Groo is wandering around helping you.
And you know what? Why don't we have some fun right now? We're in the learning phase, but let's have some fun. So we're going to spend 2 Groo heads to
Okay.
send Groo to any town and destroy a building of my choice.
Oh,
And I think Groo's going to go visit Jimmy here.
no. All right. We're
and
destroying the 1 point lumberyard or the 2 point broken drawbridge.
probably the 2 point broken drawbridge.
Okay.
Groo is
So
savage.
Yeah.
Groo shows up. He tries to help fix that or something, and it gets destroyed.
Yes, Groo tries to help fix the drawbridge. It falls into the river with a big carriage on it. Groo dives in to save people and saves a horse. And it's all just very Groo.
He's very Groo.
Very Groo. And now I pass some dice over to Danielle.
Well, I mean, I can buy it, so I should, right?
In general, yes, if you
Yes. So I will be
Ooh.
purchasing a bowman. Now, what does he do? So he doesn't have any points, but he has.
Yes,
he
attack
doesn't
and
have
shield.
victory points, but he has attack and defense power.
Yes.
Actually, his defense power is 0. Your archers aren't much good in direct combat, but they're very good for starting a fight.
Ah, good. Okay. Well, that seems useful.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So
All right.
And with an
2
attack or
labor
2.
results
2
coming
labor
to me.
left for you.
Well, I can use one of those to hire another footman,
Mhm.
and the other one gets passed back around, and that comes back where they started, so that's the end of the leftover
that's
phase.
the end of it.
All right.
Okay, so it's your turn.
So
It is
you
my
drop
turn.
to you would drop to 5 now.
Yes.
You're already at 5.
And 5. Okay, and since I have no combat to do, we're gonna roll some chunky dice. Yeah, I need like a dice cup for these guys. Woo! All right.
Coupons are hard to get.
Yeah, coupons are hard to get. All right, Groo's gonna move to the left now, so Groo's gonna go hang out with Steve.
Oh, hello, Groo.
Wow, I don't have a whole lot there. Cool. Yeah. And I can't do anything with what's available because now I need coupons. So here you go. Have some dice.
Yeah, I also am just gonna kind of pass them along without
wow.
the coupons. We're all needing some cash, it
All right.
seems.
Joker.
Well, I do have at least one thing I can do without coupons, so I'll take this supplies and labor, and I will put out some cavalry.
He is stocked up.
The rest of it does need coupons, though, so back over to you, Steve, and you still need coupons for
I
everything.
still need coupons for everything.
Yeah.
Unless the Grooheads do something, but he's in front of you, so
Yeah.
probably not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they made their way back around, so this is the end, so you will draw up to 5 cards.
Which I have 5 cards.
All right,
So
then that's the end of your turn.
and now it goes.
All right.
So first off, you can discard anything that you don't want to keep.
I like these cards. I
Then
think I'm good with them.
draw up to
I'm
5.
gonna get 2 more. Okay. Oh, that's something different. Okay. Oh, how fun. Oh. Who has the Groo card?
Right now, Steve.
And I can hold on to things, right? I don't have to
Yes.
spend them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to.
So now we are in the phase where, if you drew a purple card, it has to be played
No
immediately.
purple cards.
Okay. Now we're in the attack phase. Now, since you and I both, you have an army already, you could do the attack phase if you wanted to.
That seems silly because you have a lot bigger army than me. So how does it work?
So how it works is if you take whatever units you want to attack with, and you would say push them forward. In this case, you've just got the bowman. He has 2 attack power.
Okay.
And you say, I'm attacking you, Jimmy. And I would have to choose what I wanted to defend with. So if I put 1 footman out there to defend, we would take my defense, your attack power minus my defense. Any remainder is how many points of buildings I'm going to lose. So if you attack with a 2-power archer, and I defend with a 1 defense footman, that's 1 point left over. It would destroy the last building I have. So clearly, I would defend with 2 to stop all of it, and then both the attackers and the defenders that got used all get discarded.
I see.
So they are one use. You could use it, even though you clearly won't get through to my building. You could use it to start whittling down my army and force me to defend it and lose them if you wanted to do that.
The very unbiased opinion over here on the side is going to tell me to do what?
Can you attack an undefended place?
Oh.
Yes, you can.
That's
So
smart.
you could choose to attack Meredith with
I
her
know that
undefended
seems pretty
village.
mean, but I'm gonna do it.
You're definitely gonna do it.
All right, so
Okay,
you
like
choose
you
to-
said,
I'm gonna. Well,
play
but
with
he's
Danielle.
winning. But she's got. I mean,
Am
those
I
are-
have
No,
one,
I'm
I have
currently
1
one.
point.
Okay,
on it.
I'm
yeah.
currently
So I'm
winning.
gonna attack Meredith.
And then that means they get destroyed.
2 points of your choice get destroyed,
Yeah,
but that is
which
all.
is-
Wow, this is
So,
brutal.
it
It's
is.
a mean game.
I
So,
know.
he's been used.
He's
He's
gone as
gone.
well.
Yeah,
All
So
right.
now we are in the construction phase where you
Okay.
roll the dice.
Wow. Sorry about that, Meredith.
that's fine. I expect it from you.
Oh, dang. Oh, ouch.
I mean, you should in this game.
I mean, also, I've played enough games with Danielle. I know how this
I'm
goes.
gonna get a reputation. That's so mean.
She's-
I'm nice.
You are. That's why I love
I'm
playing
nice,
with you because
right.
you don't hold back.
No,
It's
I
nice.
don't. No, I figure if somebody's not crying in the end, like, was it a
Exactly.
game? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy
Oh, wait,
these
you have to
two.
roll
First, you need to roll them.
Oh, I haven't. I thought I did.
No.
I didn't roll these.
No.
I feel like I did.
Because Drew hasn't moved yet. So.
Yeah.
Oh, left twice.
Ooh.
Oh, look at. There's still. Wow, that was.
Wow, no coupons.
No
Still
coupons.
no coupons. And Danielle gets a Groo.
I
Drew
do.
goes 2 villages to the
dropped
left.
Groo to you.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't like that roll at all. Okay, so there won't be. I'm gonna say that Groo is befuddled. So, Groo tries to think and gets a headache. No further Groo effect cards may be played until the dice are rolled again. It's burning a hole in my pocket. I couldn't help but play it. But he's on me, so it feels like a good time to play it.
Yeah,
Time to use
it's a
that.
good
Alright.
time to use
Okay, so I'm going to pass those on because I can't do anything else.
Okay.
I liked the ones that were there in front of me before I
know.
rolled.
Well, I can't do that anymore, so I'm actually going to pass these on to Steve.
Well, no copins, no action.
Nobody likes my roll.
Well, at least I get to use some. I'm going to take 3 of the grain sacks
You get to rebuild.
and give myself a farm.
Ooh,
So,
Oh,
very
nice.
good.
yeah, and then when you roll the dice, double all supply results. Extra supplies are not passed on. Ooh.
That'll be very good.
That'll be really
yes.
good, especially if I ever get a copin.
Then what has gets.
And then nothing else because I have no copins. So.
And that brought it around. to
Yes,
you.
and I obviously
So
didn't like my own
Mhm.
roll, so
You draw again.
I draw again.
You draw up
Yes.
to 5 at the end of your turn.
Okay. The beginning and the end phase.
Yeah.
That's right. That gives you something to.
But I can't
Harass
play
us
this
with.
right now.
No.
Unless
Yeah.
it is a purple card or a wild card, you cannot play it right now.
Okay.
Events happen as soon as they're drawn, and wild cards happen whenever they say they can happen.
Okay. Got it. And those are purple or wild.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we have done one round around the table. We have a village worth 1 and a decent army, a village worth 2, and
No
a
army.
village worth 1.
Yes.
So very small towns right now.
I lost my 2 places, but then I gained another. So.
So we are back to the top of the turn.
It's 'cause you're a good person.
Discard phase. I am going to discard the auction house because it requires a lot of copins, and those are not coming up. So to do that, I'm going to draw 3 new cards to fill my hand up to 5. I feel like I'm going to be a target, so I'm going to hang on to these armies for defense right now, and go ahead and move on to rolling the dice for the construction phase. All right, so we got the Roferto result on the movement die, which means Groo stays.
Oh.
That's the dog.
Who's picking on me because you said I was competitive.
Still no copin.
Still no copins.
Did somebody take all the copins
Yeah,
off these
I
guys
know,
and
right? Yeah, they-
spend them?
Yep.
I can see
They're
it.
weighted wrong.
I know.
I can spend the supplies to build an inn with 1 point, and when I roll the dice, I may discard this card immediately to re-roll them. The rest of these still take copins, so I'm going to pass them on. A lot of labor and a Groo head.
Well, no copins.
No copins.
I'm going to discard some of these
Yeah,
token
okay.
only.
I'm going to build a marketplace.
Ooh.
So this one says,
And that takes 2.
yes, it takes 2 of those guys. Thank you. When you roll a dice, you may change 2 identical results into 1 different result of your choice. Ooh, I'm gonna like
That's
that
a
one.
good one.
That's
That's a
Ooh.
good one.
Turn
That's-
grain into copins.
Right? Exactly.
So that's back to me. So we are done with the construction and leftover phase. We're on second draw, so I will draw 1 card. It is not an event, so that is the end of my turn. Steve.
Okay, so I'm going to do some discards that I should have done last time around.
You're gonna roll all the copins now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
discard
well,
those.
if I roll all the copins, I can still probably use them. But we'll get rid of those. We'll draw 2 more and hope that they're not copin-only buildings.
The amount of not copins we have rolled is the probability is not. It doesn't make sense.
That's at least a different roll. And
Yeah, for the dice, there's 2 labor results, 2 supply results, 1 Groo head, and 1 copin.
Ah, well, we've found a lot of Groo heads.
Oh,
Oh,
look at
copins!
that.
got copins. And
Feel like
no
you won the game.
labor at all, but a lot of grain.
Oh, and Groo stays.
Groo
where-
stays put.
Oh yeah.
Groo stays put.
Yeah.
Okay, can't do anything with that. Can't do anything
Oh,
with
Groo
that.
stays- It's okay. He's befuddled. He has a headache. He's
But I'm going to
Sticking a
spend
powder.
1 copin to build a lighthouse,
nice.
so Groo will know to avoid my town.
Nice.
That's the theory. And I'm going to spend a copin and a grain and build military stable.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just
Have
gonna-
some grain.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm on a no grain diet at
I'm
the
actually
moment.
trying to do that too.
Yeah, no
Awesome.
grains. So
Yeah.
give it to you.
I can't do anything with just the green, so it's back to you, Steve.
Okay. And we've done all the leftovers. I spent 2 cards. I'll draw 2 cards.
All right.
Okay, so one of the cards that I drew is a purple border. That's an event card. That says, play this card right now. This is a very bad one for everybody, but most importantly for me. Each player must play all destructive Groo effect cards in their hand immediately on their own town. So the illustration shows the populace rioting in celebration at the rumor Groo is dead. And they're so happy that they destroy their own town. I have a Groo effect card good for 3 destroyed buildings. I have only 2. So I am back to a flat pile of rubble.
That's
I have no Groo effect cards because that would be a red card. Correct?
You are fortunate, yes.
Groo destroys 3 buildings at his current location. So goodbye, little buildings that cost me so many laborers. They did a good job. And then I also have famine. Removes all building cards requiring supplies at Groo's current location. So Groo has done his job twice. Congratulations for helping get rid of those on somebody else.
And I've got reputation. Remove all building cards requiring labor at Groo's current location. Luckily, none of mine require labor. So I
It's a
lucked
great
out.
card.
Yeah, good times.
All right, so Steve, you draw to replace that event card.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to draw another event card.
Groo, take it.
I have succeeded in not drawing another event card.
And that's
So
5.
that's my... Okay, no, because I also used a
Right.
Groo card, so I have to draw one more, which is also not an event. So I'm done.
And this is why haven't necessarily won till the end of your turn, because you could always draw something like Groo is dead
Right.
and decimate your
Your
7
whole-
victory points.
Okay, I'm going to turn in 2 cards because I have a shipyard building, which is worth 2 points. But if Groo ever comes to my town, it just is automatically destroyed. So we're good there. And then I'm just getting rid of a troop card that requires 2 kolaches.
Kolaches.
Kolaches would be okay.
I know.
Kolaches.
And
Yes.
then I will
Now
draw
I'm
my
hungry.
card. I know.
The shipyard is one you want to play at a time when you've already got at least 5 victory points.
Right.
And then just hope you can keep it long enough.
Enough to. Exactly. Gosh, I do love kolaches so much.
Wow.
Thank you, Texas, for kolaches. All right. Oh, wow. I got a colt. Okay. All right. Groo steaks or Groo lamps.
Groo likes it on that end of the table,
Yeah,
and I'm
he does.
fine
I'm
with
very
that.
happy.
I'm good
Yeah.
with
So,
Groo's-
okay. Well, I'm going to spend a Colpin and a townsperson to give myself a pikeman. Pikeman will give me 1 attack but 2 defense, which is very nice.
Mhm.
And then, this is a tough one. I think I will go ahead. Oh, and add a footman with my townsperson there.
Okay.
So
Might
Yeah.
as well.
yeah, and then I will.
We can
pass
just
the
pass
dice.
them.
There is
on
no
to Jimmy.
troop or village that it's bad to have. Some
Yeah.
are better than others.
But
Goes right on to Steve.
And I can do something with that. What do I want to do with that? I will build a guard tower using 1 supplies, and I will staff it with bowmen with my other
Nice,
supplies.
nice.
So all of a sudden I have a little bitty village with a little bitty army. Actually, all I have of the village is the guard tower, but that's a star.
Hey, you need a guard tower to defend the village. So
Mhm. And the effect of the guard tower is it adds +1 defense to any 1 troop in my town, which is good for bowmen because they're normally 0.
yeah. You know what, folks? I forgot to actually follow my own farm card because it says when you roll the dice, double all supply results. Extra supplies are not passed on. Wow. This is actually good learning point is to remember to know what your cards
Remember to
are.
read your cards.
Remember to read your cards.
Or just have no cards.
Or just have no cards.
Yeah. Just keep Groo in your village.
Exactly.
No, okay.
All right.
Okay, so that was me using up leftovers.
And now it comes back to me, so I will just draw 2 to bring myself back up to 5. And pass this.
Yeah.
All right. So it's my turn.
Your turn. You can discard whatever you like. Draw up
I
to 5.
still like my cards, so I will do this. All right. So, okay, counting is hard. All right, there we go. I'll roll. Clearly, I have nothing to attack with. Hi, Groo. Ah, right.
Oh, yay.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's all kinds of great things on here.
Mhm.
I'm going to buy them all. All right, so I'm going to get a shipyard. If Groo comes to your town, the shipyard is automatically destroyed.
Yeah, that's the one that I just discarded, and I'm like, no.
Oh, wow. Maybe I don't want that.
If you've got something else to spend
Yeah.
the
Yeah, maybe I'll wait that one. Well, no, I've got 2. I could do 2. Why not? Oh, this is the one that you only get like when you have 5 and you're hoping that you
Yeah.
can
Well,
keep it.
But
So
if there's
got it.
nothing else to spend the resources on, you might as well keep them out of Jimmy's hands.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this one I'm gonna do the pikeman first. I'm gonna see everything else I can buy to make sure I'm getting the things that I
I
want.
think that's smart.
And then I'm gonna do the armory. Adds 1 attack to any 1 troop card in your armory.
Nice.
So that one's good, and that one's gonna take this and this. So use that.
Mhm.
And now I can do. Oh yeah, I can't use that. Painful.
The long sought after Culpin, and now it gets passed.
I know it's getting passed. You can have it, Jimmy.
Luckily, I can use that coupon
Ah.
to build a blacksmith.
Ooh.
Oh,
Worth
very
1
good.
point and adds 1 victory point if there is an armory in my town, which I do not have yet. But
Danielle
you have
does.
to pass the Groo head on to Steve.
Okay, well, I do not have anything that uses a Groo head, and aren't you glad? So that's it for me.
And I have nothing that I want to use a Groo head on. So
Seeing as how
that's
Groo
it
is
for
in your
me.
town.
All right. Oh, now then I draw 2.
Mhm.
Well, actually, there is one that you would have used if you'd had it. There's a
Yes.
Groo effect that moves Groo,
Moves Groo, yes.
and you would say, aha,
Uh-huh.
and give him to one of us.
Which I did at the start, I believe.
Mhm.
All right.
All right, I believe.
I like this game.
It's a good game, isn't
I like it. Yes.
My favorite thing about it is the dice sharing effect.
Yeah.
Passing on.
It's
That's
not
such
really a
nice-
true draft.
Yeah.
But it is leftovers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like leftovers.
Right,
Those are
so
good.
discarding-
I'm hungry.
discarding that 1 army and then drawing up to 5. Because they're very expensive. That's a hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to bleed some of the army off over there because I don't like other armies getting as big as mine.
Oh.
So I'm going to send my cavalry
Okay.
out against Meredith's town. So they are attack with strength 2, defense strength 1. So they are attacking at a 2.
Okay.
So you need to block 2 points of attack.
Well, that's my 2.
Uh,
Wait, no, I'll just use my 1 pikeman.
yeah. So if your pikeman blocks it,
Yeah.
he has a 2 defense, so they will cancel each other out.
Mhm.
With 0 points left
points.
over, and they both go away.
It's so nice not getting picked on.
I know.
And then I will roll the
Lots of
dice.
people
You get
here. I do.
Groo moves 2 to the right. Oh, no, I don't
good.
want him
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Enjoy.
I don't
It's your
want him
fun
here.
now.
some Groo effects.
Mhm.
Luckily, there's no Groo heads on the dice.
It's a good assortment.
It's good sort. But I will use a wild card. I have a Referto card, which moves Groo to any one town. So we'll move him over next door to Steve's town.
Oh, goody. Thank you.
I thought I was just going to do that.
I know.
Honestly.
And unfortunately, I cannot use any
Wow.
of those.
Wow. Well,
Bring it over to Mama.
Look at all the stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. I really didn't like passing
a
that
lot
on.
of stuff.
Some good stuff over there.
If I do that, then I can do that.
Basically giving my turn away.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then I get a turn. Won't that be nice? So I'm going to spend one of everything, because this is expensive, and build the Wizard's Keep,
Ooh.
which can be discarded at the end of my turn to take another turn.
That's a
That's
nice one.
very juicy when you're close to winning.
Yep.
I'm not close to winning, so probably Groo will kick it down before I can use it, but we'll try. And then I've got a labor and a supplies, and I will bring out the cavalry to help protect all that. And then we will pass one labor.
Well, I will take the laborer and add another footman to my town, my farm. My farm is now protected by 2 footmen.
All right.
That's it. That's my farm.
There's no dice to
Yeah.
pass
There's
on,
no
so
dice.
we're done with the
No.
leftover phase.
Yeah, everybody did like those leftovers.
So I will draw one,
Was
and that is the end of my turn. Steve.
Okay, so I have only one card, so I'll start. I'm not going to discard it. I will draw 4. Okay, that's a wild card, but I don't have to play it now. That's building. That's another wild card. And that's another wild card. Well,
No.
wouldn't I like something productive to do? But
You're wildin'.
we got what we got. Do I want to attack anybody? No, I have a nice, moderately sized army that I want to keep. Good roll.
Groo is going one town to the left. Or Meredith.
He just wants to.
He does. He's trying.
Look at
He wants to.
that.
He wants to feed my pigs and
Yeah.
milk the cows. Pull up some corn.
Unfortunately, he
Look
tried
at
to milk the
that.
pigs, pull up some
Yeah,
cows,
I
and
was,
feed the
I was
corn.
trying
So-
to, I was trying to
Exactly
work
it,
through
yeah.
that. Milk the
Yeah.
pigs, pull up the cows.
Okay, so I will buy another cavalry that uses these guys. And that leaves a Groo head, a Copin, and no cards that can use them. So
They will go
it's
right.
Christmas.
If only it were Christmas for anything I could use.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like anything I can use either. So
Wow.
Well, I can use one of them.
oh.
And unfortunately, I need to get some other things into my hand, so sorry, Meredith. There's a minor problem. Groo destroys one building in its current location.
Goodbye, farm. I've given up the farm.
And the rest of those go back to Steve.
Nice.
So that is
Steve
end of the
can't do
leftovers.
anything with them, so I am down to 4 cards. So I'll draw 1 and make sure it's not purple. Whoa, it's purple. Groo's Rampage.
Oh,
Play this card right now. Did that.
Okay.
Until the beginning of your next turn, that's my next turn, all Groo heads rolled are doubled.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
So
this
it's
is a rough one. It's,
going to
Yeah.
be a very groovy round.
So at any point do we all just lose, by the way, if we use all the cards?
if we go through the deck, we
Mhm.
reshuffle.
Oh,
If we hit
okay.
the deck a second time, we do, I believe it's one final turn. Then whoever
Wow.
wins,
Oh, that's,
whoever has
yeah.
the most there wins.
Wins.
So I'm going to leave this out
Yes.
as a reminder.
Well, I'm going to just discard this
Oh,
wild.
wait, I get to
no. Oh, yeah,
replace the
yes.
event. And it's not an event,
Okay.
so yay.
I'm just getting rid of a wild card that I haven't played since the top of the game, so draw up to 5. We'll do a nice roll. Ooh. Oh, cool. Look, Groo gets to hang out and stay with me. And now, wow, I really could have used that card I discarded. Would have been great.
Are you serious?
It's fine. Don't worry.
Sad.
It's all good. It is sad.
That's the way it happens sometimes.
Sad.
When would I ever use this? Oh,
Well-
right now. Right now is when I could have used
Okay, well, right now I'm going to play this.
Okay.
We're going to ignore, this is the cheese dip card.
Ooh.
Groo loves cheese dip more than anything. I determine Groo's new location. So I think Groo is going to come over here where you
Yeah,
can have a good
Yep.
time.
Yep.
Yep. Hi, Groo.
Oh, yay.
Hi, Groo.
He should chase the cheese dip. Really. He just wants to eat the dip. Well, thank you, Steve. That's some cooperative play for now. All right, I'm going to spend that. I'm going to get a School of Arms, which gives me +1 defense to any troop card. So I get an extra little defense on my footman here. Then I'm also going to spend 1 gentleman there to get a residence. Just adds 1 VIP if I ever get another residence. And yeah, pass along.
All right, very good. I am going to get a pikeman. So that is that.
Nice.
And I'm also going to get a residence.
Heck yeah.
So it adds 1 VP if another residence is in your town. So does that mean that it doubles if I have 2?
Right.
Or
So
I
each,
just get 3?
well, if you have the other residents would have
Yeah.
the same text on it, so they
Yeah, so
basically
you'll
each
get-
become worth
So
2
say
points.
you got this one, then
Ah.
it would have 2
Yeah,
points.
that
So
would be brilliant. So then it would be 4.
It'd be 4
Yes,
total.
it's-
Nice.
And now we're out of cards, so I'll just draw back up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So now
And it's your turn.
I'm good. I'm not. Well, I add attack to any 1 troop card in your army. So if I were to attack somebody, I would be attacking with 2.
Yes.
Or on this one, I'd be attacking with 3.
Nope, that's defense.
That's defense.
That's
Yeah.
defense.
The shield is defense.
Mhm.
Seems
So-
like I'm wondering if I should attack now because I may not get the chance later.
But you lose those cards when you attack.
That's
so-
true.
And those
But
are
it's only if I'm attacking, right?
those are very defensive cards.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay, then I will wait.
save them to protect yourself. Nobody is
Terrific.
close to winning.
Okay.
Make sure you've drawn up.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I always need to be reminded of the rules. All right. Very good. All right. It goes 2 to the left.
Groo moves.
So it goes to
1
Meredith.
and 2.
Welcome back, bud. How's it going?
All right. So I'm going to take
Didn't you have a farm?
this one and this one.
More.
Spend those and get School of Arms.
Nice.
Adds 1 defense to any 1 troop card in your town.
Okay.
So you've
And-
got a super pikeman now.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I'm also going to do another one. I have 2 School of Arms.
Ooh.
2
So-
super pikemen.
That's another, yep.
Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. And yeah, that's it.
So I
Passing
find
those.
it might be easy for you, so I know that will modify that. I'm putting it on top of my footman, so I
Oh, got it.
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like pikeman, I
Yeah.
can do this and this.
Mhm.
All right, thanks, Meredith.
Yeah, no worries.
Pass those on to you, Steve.
Well, let's see. I actually have a Groo effect.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Remember, this is 2 Groo heads currently
Yes.
because
Yes.
of Groo's Revenge.
Yes. I'm going to spend 1 of them. And Groo is going to conduct army training at his current location.
Fun.
Remove all troop cards requiring labor at Groo's current location.
Goodbye.
He trained them real well.
Yep, he trained them so well they
They ran away.
ran off into the forest, never to
Yes.
be seen again.
And that was wise of them. That was
Yes.
their good move. Okay, so who rolled the dice?
I did.
You did. So this was really 2 Groo heads. So I spent 1, and 1 real Groo head comes to you.
Did you spend the supply?
No. But that's okay, I can't
Oh,
do anything. And then it goes back to
Okay, so I will just go up to, and I did not get any purple cards. So
All right.
passing the
It's
dice.
my turn. All right. I am going to discard Groo's Revenge. So I have enough Groo heads floating around right now. And draw 2 more cards. And an event, Groo's Rampage. Till the beginning of my next turn, all Groo heads rolled or doubled.
That means that on your roll, all Groo heads are worth 4.
Quadrupled.
Wow.
Well, that's about to happen now. So, oh wait, I have to draw another card to make up for that event. And now it's going to happen. Groo moves 2 to the left, so to me.
Cool. Enjoy.
Not cool.
Have fun with him, please.
But I have rolled 1, which means there are 4 Groo heads.
There's 4 Groo heads out there.
All right. Well, we will start by using 2 of them. A town in need. Move Groo to any town and destroy a building of your choice. So you have multiple schools of arms over there, so he's going to take out one of them.
And I cannot use this, right?
Well, let's
It's a
see.
wild card.
Yeah.
What's it say?
Groo tries to think and gets a headache. No further Groo effect cards may be played until the dice are rolled again.
So I couldn't play any extra ones now.
Yeah.
Like it won't stop this one, but it will keep any more from happening while he's at your town.
Those other 2 Groo heads are now pointless.
Yeah.
But so might not. I'm still
Yeah.
learning. I'm still getting a real handle on it. So I think I'm going to hold off on this because he's not in my town. So I'm
Well, he's in your
losing
town
him
now.
Yeah.
I moved him to your town,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then he
Yeah.
destroys a building.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He still
So
takes a school
that
of
would
arm.
really be a good time to play the card because
Yeah.
So there are 2
Okay.
more.
there are 2 more Groo heads on the
Mhm.
table
Got it.
and 2
And-
people who might enjoy using
So
them.
even though he's got his +1 defense, you're not attacking me. You're just taking it away.
Right.
So
Groo's
school
trying to
alarm.
help at the school and
Got
directing
it. All right.
Yes.
Well,
He sent them packing with
He-
the others.
He went in to be a visiting instructor. The next thing, the building fell down.
yeah, it happens with
So-
Groo.
Also going to spend 1 labor to build a residence, which is worth 1 point, and as a victory point, there's another residence.
Mm-hmm.
And another troop to hire Captain Ahax into my army.
That's our first named character.
Wow.
He is a 0 attack, 0 defense troop. He adds 2 to both attack and defense if my town has a shipyard. Doesn't, so he's currently just hanging out there. And then I will pass 2 Groo heads and 3 supplies over to you, Steve.
But, okay, did we play the...
Befuddled.
Befuddled
yes.
got played, so
Befuddled?
you,
Okay, so
Yes.
there's effectively no Groo head there.
Yeah.
right.
Can't be used. So I have 3 sacks of grain. I can't see any way to get any good out of 3 sacks of grain.
I am without.
Yep,
So-
that's it. Going back.
Yep, going back.
Okay, then I will draw back up to 5. None of them are events, so that is the end of my turn.
Okay, so now
One
my
Groo's Rampage is gone.
Groo is now rampaging only half as much as he was. But Groo heads are still
And now
double.
this is getting hashed
Oh,
off.
yes, it is.
Because we're rolling dice again.
I
Right.
get it now. Yes. This next time. Oh, look at that.
Oh, somebody forgot to draw
Ah,
his
of course he's gonna
cards.
stay.
Mhm.
Of course he's gonna stay.
Go ahead and draw, and if there are any events, you might have to re-roll.
Yeah, but there aren't.
Okay.
Okay. So there are 2 grains. So I can add 2 bowmen.
Ooh.
It's a very well defended city.
It's that wizard's tower.
And there is a labor. So I can build a witch doctor's hut.
Ooh.
Now the effect of this is when I roll the dice, remove 1 labor result. I assume the witch doctor is scaring people away.
But it is worth 2 victory points.
It's
Yes.
worth 2 victory points. I'm now 4 out of 7. You're at 4 or 5?
4.
You're at 4.
I'm at 2.
You're at 2. You're at 2.
3.
3.
Yeah.
There's one on the other side there. Okay. You have defense of 2 plus any specials you get from buildings. The blacksmith,
Nothing for defense there.
nothing for defense. I think that I'm going to send...
Well, that happens before the dice are rolled.
Oh, that's right, it does.
Oh, it does.
So I think I'm not going to do any of that. That's okay. I couldn't have properly afforded to do it beforehand. So that was my construction phase. And
Passing the dice over.
yeah.
Cool. I'm going to use them. I'm going to add.
Oh, you've been hanging on to that since the beginning, haven't you?
I've got a stable. Discard immediately after your attack phase to take a second attack phase at the same turn. So that's nice. And then I'm going to build a bank, which when I roll the dice, I can change any one of the results to my
how
choice.
nice.
So
Very good.
yeah. And that is that. Now we're out of
Yes.
Out of dice.
Yeah.
So
You-
back to Steve.
Steve. You can draw cards.
One, not purple. Two, not purple. Three, not purple. My brand new glasses, but I'm still in the habit of peering over them. Yeah, if I hold the cards out here, I can actually read them. But, my quadrifocals, because there's the fourth one.
It's the worst thing about getting older is you can't see.
Yep.
Everybody who believes that's the worst thing about getting older, raise a hand.
Okay.
I can
It is
name
a thing.
I can name
No.
a lot of things, but
Maybe
eyesight's
it's
important.
I don't know. It's a hard
I know,
thing
it
about
is.
getting older.
Well,
It is.
Yeah, that's why I had that eye surgery. Not
Yeah.
corrective eye, or
Maybe
like
it's not the
yeah.
worst thing, but it's hard.
It is hard.
Give me a hard time, Steve.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna pick up 2 cards because I'm not gonna do any attacks because I have nothing to attack with.
Let's draw, then attacks.
Yeah, well, can't
No army.
doesn't matter. No army. All right. Woo! Okay,
Groo
Groo
stays
hangs
put.
out where we are.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so well,
Killing me.
we got
But I would like to see what dice we rolled so I can decide whether to play a card.
Oh, I've got
But
3
I'm not
footmen,
going to. It's okay.
2 green, and a Groo head.
Right.
So I'm gonna actually spend the Groo head to have a Groo effect. Groo's gonna go move to another town.
Oh.
Who's gonna go hang out with
There is
Jimmy.
one more Groo head because remember they are currently double.
Oh yeah,
so-
they are current. Oh, okay, cool. Well then, Groo is then also going to destroy one of your buildings.
Who chooses?
Groo destroys one building at his current location.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Groo had bad directions.
Oh.
Play this card immediately after your Groo effect card. Groo affects the player of the card instead of the intended target.
Oh, so I have to destroy
You
a
have to
building.
destroy one of your buildings.
Yes.
That's fine. I'll get rid of my stable. It's not like I'm attacking anyways. Smart move. Okay, now we're going
That
to...
uses up both Groo heads now. So
Yeah.
no more
No
of
more
them
Groo
left.
heads. Okay, so I'm gonna spend those 2 and give myself a cavalry, and then I'm gonna spend those 2 and add a granary.
You're back in the granary
Yeah,
business.
when you roll the dice, add 1 supply result. Extra supplies are not passed on. Unfortunately, I could have turned that to anything I wanted, but it won't do me any good. So we'll pass a single
I don't
townsperson
need
to
him.
you.
I'll pass him along.
I can't do anything with just him, so pass
Is
to
there
Steve.
anything I can do with just 1 labor? No.
Okay, back to me. And then I will draw up to 5. 4 and 5. And no purples, so
All right, no events. So
no events. We're good to go.
And as you can see, although we have been doing a lot of shin kicking and Groo has been doing a little on his own, slowly we're building up towns. Somebody's going to get within striking range of a win at some point.
Mhm.
I start to get worried when somebody is at 5. Nobody
Yes.
is at 5.
All right.
But nobody is very far from 5.
No.
I'm going to roll the dice. Oops. Where is Groo? Groo's over there.
Who's chilling with Jimmy?
Hopefully not for long.
Okay, he goes to the
Goes
left.
to the left. He goes to visit Steve and his army.
All right.
Actually, no, there's cheese dip involved. He stays right where he was.
Gotta stop making queso.
Mm-hmm.
I need a lot of coupons, so I did not roll anything that I needed. I'll be passing them all along.
It's 4 Groo heads.
That's a lot of Groo heads I don't really want.
You don't really want.
Can't do anything about that.
That means they're going to come over to me. Is there anything good I can do with a Groo head?
Is I can use a labor and a grain to hire the sage into my army.
Sage is useful.
He is 1 attack, 1 defense. But if the sage is in my army, I may choose which enemy buildings are destroyed when I attack.
Oh,
Very nice.
That leaves 4 Groo heads and 2 supplies, which I unfortunately have to pass on. You know, I can burn at least one of the Groo heads, so it would probably be good for me to do that. So I'm going to spend 1 of the 4 Groo heads to play Flee with Your Gold. Remove all troop cards requiring coupons at Groo's current location. None of my troops require
There are
I
coupons.
see.
Well played.
Nice.
So it's probably not enough to save me, but I passed 3 Groo heads and 2 supplies on to you, Steve.
Okay. And despite the big noises that I made, I can do nothing with 3 Groo heads and 2 supplies.
And I can
There's-
do nothing. So,
all right.
In the clear.
yeah.
So I'm going to draw 1 card, and that's that.
All right, start of my turn. Groo's rampage is finally over. I'm going to draw up to 5 cards. I'll do 3 of these. None of them are events. Am I going to attack? I don't really have that much in the way of attack, despite having 4 of them out here, so I'm not going to right now. I'm going to save those for defense. And I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice for the construction phase.
Ooh.
Groo stays put, not the result I wanted. There's 1 Groo head out there. But I think we can do something there. I'm going to spend 2 labor and 1 grain and build the orphanage.
Ooh.
For 2 victory points, Groo effect cards will not affect your buildings or troops.
6.
Wait, say that again?
Groo effect cards will not affect my buildings or troops when there's an
Wait.
orphanage in town.
What?
Groo was an orphan. Groo has a
That's-
really soft spot for orphanages. It's going to be, you're going to have to find some other way to get rid of that building in order to make his town vulnerable again.
Oh, this is.
Yep, so I spent that.
Oh, that's tough.
So it's the one area Groo can't mess up. Is the
Yeah.
orphanage.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And it protects the entire town.
The entire town.
And then I'm going to spend the coupon to build a great wall.
Oh, is that the game?
If the main gate is also in your town, you're not affected by Groo effect cards. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But you have
But
not.
he has
But I've
to-
not. I have to still
Yeah.
have to pass
and we have
these
to finish.
on to Steve,
And then he's supposed to bring cards up.
and I have to not draw. I'll tell you what. If Groo dies comes up, I will not be winning the game.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a Groo head, which I can't do anything with, and a single little labor guy. So,
I'll just use that little laborer to add a butcher, and yeah, you get a Groo head.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So you're in luck,
So
Jimmy.
let's see if the deck will let me finish the
Dun,
game or
dun,
not.
dun.
All right, I have to draw 2 of these.
Yep.
yep.
Not an event. Not an event.
Wow!
Well done.
That is 7. That is the end of the game because we got to the end of a turn and somebody had 7 points out.
Right.
So that is a game of Groo.
Mhm.
That's
how
awesome.
it plays out. It goes a lot of back and forth until suddenly something pulls it out.
Someone wins. See,
Yeah.
if I had had one more turn, I would have sent an army over
Mhm.
there to chew up his army and to destroy the orphanage. and that would have left him vulnerable again.
I was really hoping Groo showed up to your town, though, because I had May I Share, which means Groo would take out every army that had supplies.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Which is every army.
I can see where this gets very brutal.
It can get very, very back and forth and very big swings in the almost there. If I had drawn the one we had to play on our own, I had Did I Err? Groo destroys all buildings at his current location.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Wiped the slate clean.
Wow.
One funny thing, I've never seen anybody get mad over a game of Groo.
No.
I'm sure it can happen, but even when the shin kicking
Yes.
goes on,
Games
people
are
are
supposed to be
cool
fun.
about it.
Games are fun.
Well, because it's
Those
happening
two-
to everybody
those two
every
stay
turn.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
This
It goes
is,
back and forth.
you know, I got to watch some of the demoing happen at Gamma, and people loved Groo, and I, grew up reading some of the comics. Grew up reading Groo. But I am so happy to finally get to play this game, because I've heard so much about it, and it's fun.
So this was our playthrough of Groo. If you like it, check it out. If it seems like your sort of thing, you like to sit around and have somebody else blow all the other players up for you, it's not your fault, it's Groo's fault, then try it out and have some fun with it yourselves. Thank you for joining us today.